The Constitution of the United States of America is the supreme law of the United States, empowered with the sovereign authority of the people by the framers and the consent of the legislators of the states. It is the source of all government powers, and also provides important limitations on the government that protect the fundamental rights of United States citizens.
What gives the government authority?
I do because I vote, damn it. I give them the authority. The people do.
The people of the United States give the government authority. In our Constitution, it says that people were not born with any rights at birth to mandate others. People were actually born with natural rights, and also had inherited rights. The job of the government is to protect our rights. What challenges did the new government face?
Well, hello, my name is Miss Rhonda. And I do believe that the challenges that the new government did face were getting the states to run united while still standing alone, raising revenue, paying off war debt, and controlling trade and commerce. That's what I believe some of the challenges are.
The government faced problems with debt and other domestic problems because of the Revolutionary War. The government thought it would be a great idea to ask for loans and print money. They relied on printing money, but that caused hyperinflation. Debt was a serious diplomatic issue for the government.
What compromises were made to create the new constitutional government?
The Connecticut Compromise, the Three-Fifths Compromise, and the Commerce and Slave Trade Agreement.
The Connecticut Compromise, the Three-Fifths Compromise, and the Commerce and Slave Trade Agreement were made to create the new constitutional government. The Connecticut Compromise was smaller states believed their rights would not be recognized and that larger states would want to dominate them. As a result, they had 2 senators from each Senate for each state. The Three-Fifths Compromise. The South wanted slaves to count as population and not for taxation, but the North opposed. A compromise was made. Slaves counted as 3/5 of a person and also counted for 3/5 of taxation. The Commerce and Slave Trade Agreement was an agreement during the Constitutional Convention of 1787 protecting the interests of slaveholders by forbidding Congress the power to tax the export of goods from any state.
How was the new government structured?
Well, it was a democratic republic broken into 3 branches: the legislative branch, the judicial branch, and the executive branch.
New government was structured in 3 different branches: the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. The legislative branch, which is made up of the Congress, makes the laws. The executive branch, or president, vice president, and cabinet, carry out the laws. Finally, the judicial branch, made up of the Supreme Court and other courts, evaluate laws. What were the opposing sides of the debate over accepting the Constitution?
Well, I'm guessing there's going to be those in favor of the Constitution, which is probably the good side, and then those not in favor of the Constitution, which would probably be the bad side. Those would most likely be the anarchists or the hippies of that era, just a guess.
There were 2 sides on the debate, the Federalist and the Anti-Federalist. The Federalists were supporters of the federal government and supporters of the Constitution. An Anti-Federalist is a person who does not agree on the Constitution.
A quick summary of what was mentioned. In the Constitution, the people give the government authority. The government must protect our rights, especially those that are on the Bill of Rights, which can never be taken away. The government mainly faced debt issues after the Revolutionary War. Their plan was to print money, which as a result caused hyperinflation. The main compromises were the Connecticut Compromise, the Three-Fifths Compromise, and Commerce and Slave Trade Compromise, or Agreement. The new government was made out of the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch to even out the amount of power held. The Federalists favored the Constitution, while the Anti-Federalists did not.